Welcome back to another edition of B4evaKool podcast. My name is Rexy Fortyfive, and this is the week before MotoGP kicks off, and I think we have a few more weeks a couple of weeks for Moto America and stuff like that. But I want to bring the crew in for tonight. We got a special guest in tonight, which I'm always appreciative of because I always hit him up last minute and be like, "What you doing?" Reese, welcome to the show, man. What's good, man?
Oh man, great for having me, man. I appreciate the last minute call, and glad I can accommodate you and get on for you.
I appreciate it, and at least I know it's not a race weekend, so at least I know you got some more flex than when that race weekend comes up. So I definitely appreciated that. How you liking the California weather, man, and the time zone?
Weather's nice. Traffic sucks. I can tell you that much, man. The weather's nice. It's nice, cool breeze, but it's still warm, so I get adjusted to the time zone real quick, but weather's not bad.
All right, no doubt. You know pretty much everybody on that's coming on, but I'm gonna bring the rest of the crew in one at a time. And Cheetah, man, welcome to the show. What's good, man? How's your last week been?
Man, it's been pretty good, bro. It's been good. I mean, everything's been pretty good with work and looking forward to more racing. That's about it. We don't have anything this weekend, so just crossing our fingers for what's to happen next weekend coming up at the GP.
You know, now you say looking forward to racing, but as a racer, how looking forward are you looking when you're not the one racing?
Look, man, I'm a fan first and foremost, right? At the end of the day, I'm a fan, and of course I want to get back on the bike. You know, my hand's been broken. I've been off the bike. I'm itching to get back. It was supposed to be last weekend. I just didn't make it happen. So looking forward to it soon.
All right, we're going to dive more into that, man. Well, welcome to the show, man. We'll bring the rest of the crew in. The real Louis Ortega, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Rex? How you doing, man?
Man, listen, apparently I'm doing what you're doing with all this driving stuff and always in all these places. I don't know how you do it with a smile, man.
It's part of the game, man. I've been on the road for many years now as a rep and through all the positions that I've had in this industry. So just being on the road is unfortunately it's part of the game, but fortunately it's also part of the game. It gives you an opportunity to get out, meet people, get in front of customers and fans and different people, and just it's always good to get a pulse of what's going on.
I don't know if you've seen the movie Glenn Ross.
I have.
We'll figure out which one of those characters are more aligned with you as the show goes on. Because it's it always be closing, right?
Yeah, it's always be closing the deals, man. That's what we got to do. Pushing 10.
AIDA. Attention. What is attention? Information. Y'all remember that movie? It's same movie.
Same movie. Oh yeah, no doubt, man. It's just one of my favorites actually. It's like it's almost like a cult kind of movie because it didn't take off in the big screen, but but all those guys were pretty good in it, and there's a lot of one-liners that were pretty dope.
For sure.
So, but we didn't come here to talk about selling real estate to people who don't want to buy it. we came to talk about motorcycles that we can't buy.
Yeah. Well, pretty soon we won't be able to buy them if these tariffs keep up, man.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my God! I guess let's start there. We'll start with Louis and Reese a little bit on that front. Is the tariff stuff? And I guess I don't want to leave you out, Cheetah. I know in your personal life you're probably doing stuff, but as far as like in motorcycle racing, is there plans? You guys have things in step to deal with that, or you kind of waiting and see what's the vibe like for dealing with the politics of costing you guys more money or maybe less money?
You want to go, Louis?
I mean, my explanation is going to be long because all I do is numbers. I'm literally the numbers guy. I mean, I don't know how it's affecting you guys too much because, I mean, most of you guys usually buy the bulk of your parts before the beginning of the season. So you already kind of have the parts in stock. It's only when you need to restock them that you might be impacted a little bit.
All right.
Right. I mean, right now everything's yeah, good. I mean, right now everything's kind of like, and you want to call it limbo mode. You know, it's still trying to figure out what's going on and everything else. I mean, the good thing about, you know, our side so far, Attack, I mean, you kind of do everything in-house, build the parts in-house, machine it. So it doesn't kind of really affect us too much. But then the parts that we do need to import and everything else, that could affect, and it could affect the bikes, getting new bikes or getting anything else like that. So it could affect there. So
right. So, but
just sit back and wait.
Your in-house parts that you guys make, are you buying from American companies then, the stock, or are you importing that stuff?
Well, you do know a lot of things that we can make, we can machine in-house. We can do them. He is a machinist, so he can do it in-house. You know, whether it's rear sets, levers, anything like that. We can take a block of aluminum, make it out in-house, which is good. But then there is some parts that you are, like the stuff that you do need to make or kind of build off of, it's coming from overseas. It's coming from over there. It's coming from Europe. So with tariffs, you know, that's it. As anybody else knows, we're just like anybody else. I mean, we're going to get affected. And they were talking about that the other day, saying that power sports can get affected if anything happens. Hopefully they don't.
Right. And so do you guys try to bulk up and have more inventory in-house sooner than later to be safe?
I mean, right now, if you want to talk about parts, he's safe. For parts, I mean, we have more parts than I think probably any other. Yeah, I can go in that warehouse right now and look at a whole wall full of Yamaha parts. I'm like, God, Jesus. I think we could supply the whole paddock for parts for the whole season. So that's what I say. Right now, we're okay. Right now, you're okay. Coming the other time, I mean, just coming the other time, we might be, hopefully we won't be screwed, but I think we're okay right now.
Got you. It's like the folks that have the money, they can withstand the lawsuit longer than the folks that don't have the money. In this case, you guys, you're gonna show up to every race. Other people we're gonna show up to every race, and we're gonna put on a show and see if we can get on top again. That's all we can do. We're ready for the season. That's what's up. Louis, man, how about you guys at Dainese?
I mean, I've talked to a bunch of distributors and a bunch of different manufacturers, and over the next 30 to 90 days, you're going to start seeing some pricing changes. You might see pricing increasing anywhere from 5 to 15%, depending on what the product is, not just ourselves, but just in general across the industry, because there's very little that's made in the U.S. To service the motorcycle industry. Even the tires that are made domestically here in the U.S., last time I checked, I don't see any rubber trees in the U.S. I don't see any silica, at least the type of silica that's used to create tires, being made in the U.S. So even if the tires are made in the U.S., there's going to be an increase to the raw goods to make the tires in the U.S. And this is where the cascade of the problem begins, is even the items that can be made in the U.S. are still dependent on other countries for raw materials. And there's certain items that we just don't make in the U.S. Like we just don't have the manufacturing to make it here. Either we don't have the manufacturing, we don't have the dyes, we don't have the machines, we don't have the jigs, we don't have anything to actually start these things up. And it takes a while to start a factory up. Like if you wanted to start a helmet factory in the U.S., I mean, it's a good 18 to 24 months to build the factory and then to start securing the raw materials to make the helmets and then how to import those raw materials. So irregardless, at the end of the day, you're going to have an impact. And so, everybody I've talked to says that the motorcycle industry can expect anywhere from a 5 to a 15% increase on apparel, on helmets, on hard parts, on anything that's coming from outside the U.S. And unfortunately, especially in the power sports industry, I mean, 95% of everything we use comes from outside the U.S.
Right. So, and you guys are pretty confident. Oh, how confident are you guys are that the consumer will buy into what you guys are pushing for prices?
The problem is not even if the consumer has an option. Because if everybody raises their prices, everybody raises their prices. What's the other option? You're going to stop riding motorcycles? You're going to make your own chain in your backyard? like, you know, it sucks because at the end of the day, I mean, the consumer is the one that's going to feel the hit because just the way the motorcycle industry works, we've got manufacturers, we've got factories that manufacture, we've got distributors distribute to dealers, and then we have dealers that have to sell to the consumers. And every time that product changes hands, everybody needs to make a certain margin to make it worth their time and effort to sell that product. And at the end of the day, the one that takes the final hit is always the consumer. You know, I'm going to pay 3 to 6% more. The next guy is going to pay 4 to 7% more. The next guy is going to pay 5 to 8% more. And the last guy is going to pay 6 to 10% more. That's just the way that, you know, economics works. And it's the biggest problem is that in certain commodities, when the price goes up, the price never comes back down.
Right.
Because you can't devalue the inventory that you have.
Right. Well, I was just going to bring that up. I was going to say, so you know, leftover stuff. I mean, is there R6 parts for you guys at Reese at Attack Yamaha that we
get a discount on?
You know what I'm saying? Is that where you guys bring up parts that were sitting on that you may not have necessarily moved or done anything with to say, hey, maybe now is a good time to offer this to the consumers to kind of, not to say give a break, but it looks like it's a break.
I mean, yeah, you possibly can. I mean, there's parts of R6 parts sitting there but Louis would know, I mean, these R6 is still out there and it's still one of the dominant 600s that people want to buy and they just want it. So parts is still like, you can almost keep the same pricing of where it's at right now and people are just going to buy it, and unfortunately, like Louis was saying, a lot of guys don't know is that the margin from a distributor to between to the consumer, the margin isn't that big. That's why everybody's like, I want a discount. It's like, what discount? It's the margin isn't, that big. It's like, it's not even big anymore. Before it was big. Now it's just like barely pays for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, no, he's right. I mean, everybody thinks that the motorcycle industry has these massive margins. I mean, there's motorcycles sitting right now on dealerships' floors that when they sell them, the dealership will be happy to make $500 on that bike.
Yep.
And this could be a bike. Yeah, just to get rid of it. If I can make $500 on this bike, it's worth it. And some dealers, when they sell the bike, they actually don't make any money the moment they sell the bike. They make money after the fact with this program called a holdback. So you get a certain percent held back by the OEM. And after you sell the bike and it's warranty registered, then the OEM cuts you a check from this holdback. So you might actually sold the bike for less than what you paid for it, expecting this holdback to come in and cover you. I think when the Grom first came into the market, dealers were making like $150 a Grom.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so people were going into the shops thinking, I'm going to get a great deal on a Grom. And dealers weren't really budging. And it's not that they didn't want to budge. It's like, I'm paying for this bike every month that it's on the floor. I pay this much for it to be on the floor. If it doesn't sell within this many months, I'm already losing money. And I was only going to make $150 on this bike when I first got it, so it's going to be interesting to see how, good dealers know how to stay in business and they have the client base and they have the trust in the clients that they're going to stay in business. Is those dealers are on a bubble that don't really have a great client, don't really have a relationship with their clientele, those are the ones that usually go away when times get hard. And we've seen it before. We saw it in the late 2000s when the economy turned down. A lot of dealers went away. Most of those dealers that went away sucked as dealers. So it was good that they went away, because the ones that stayed in the game actually grew, because now they weren't dissolving so many people among so many dealers. But now we already see that a lot of Harley Davidson dealers have closed in the last 14 months. And a lot of them weren't bad dealers. They were just in a bad market with a product that wasn't selling very well, with bad floor plans, with high overhead. And now, again, maybe we prune some of the dealers that weren't doing very well, and the other dealers can kind of benefit from this. But at a certain point, even those good dealers, some of those will go away because they just can't keep the lights on. Okay. And it's because of the volatility. If somebody said, look, man, the new tariff is 22%, that's it, that's what it's going to be, that'll be perfect. At least that's stability. But, today we're at 30%, tomorrow we're at 40, now we're 110, we're 145. Like, it is insanity, man. It's not sustainable.
All right. So in other words, we're only in it for the love of the motorcycle.
Yep. We're not making money.
Nope. We're
Reese
not.
Can tell you, we're not making a ton of money, man. We do it because we love the sport. We love the community. We love to, at least on Reese's part. I mean, I know a lot of the guys that attack. I mean, they love what they do. Their whole lives are around motorcycles and making great parts. For us, we love what we do. Even before I worked here, Reese knows me. I worked at a bunch of other manufacturers. I've always tried to sell quality protection equipment because I tell all my friends to wear this. And I'm not going to tell my friends to wear something that I don't believe in, right, especially in this game, because, protection is the name of the game in this game.
Okay.
Right.
So, and Reese knows.
No doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Well, go ahead, Reese.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I mean, like Louis hit it on the head. I mean, we're in it for the love of the game. I mean, I started with Attack, 11 years ago. And the first, 5 years, I was just volunteering. I was paying my way to get all of this and just helping out, just doing what I do. And just slowly but surely became a contract and say, okay, here's money. We're not in it for the money. We're just in it for the love of the game. I mean, Jack Miller said it best when he was on showing how much MotoGP some of the rookies are making. I mean, we're making more than those guys coming in.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, let's dive into MotoGP, and I know we touched on a little bit on the last show, but not as much. And we'll start with Cheetah on this. Jorge Martin, we know a little bit more about his injury and stuff like that. You're a rider that's been injured. I've been injured and stuff. I don't know if Louis or Reese have. What do you
par for the course?
What are your thoughts on Jorge Martin and his comeback and what happened at Qatar?
I mean, it's just unfortunate. The whole thing's just sad and unfortunate. It can happen, and it's something that the best riders don't wish, happens to anyone, right? They don't want it to happen to anyone, and it's happened. So we, 3-4 crashes back to back to back. Every time he's halfway recovered, he injures again, and now he's at the point where he's like really out. He's really out for a few months now, and that set him back. And the road to recovery for him has to be one that's like really focused and really intent, mindful of this can happen again, right? And that has to be something. But at the same time, don't let it eat you up. Continue to just have a positive outlook on the rest of the season. You already know those couple months are out. Let's focus on what we can control. And I think most of these guys are thinking like that. They're all thinking like, let's control what we can. And, all we can do is just hope he comes back as strong as he finished last season and stays injury free for these next few rounds that he comes back to. That's all we can wish for.
Do you think that he came back too soon?
I think he came back at the right time, but maybe they could have just had him come in earlier because he wasn't going to get any points, based on it doesn't matter. Let's get him feeling good. When he starts feeling a little bit bad, the hand starts hurting, anything starts hurting, just come on in, man. It's your first round back. go practice, go get feeling, something happened on the bike before. We only had 77 laps and you crashed and you're out. So just take it easy, go have a fun race, but make sure it's only fun. This isn't even work. This is just that practice round that you didn't get to go ride on before you came back. Just treat it like that. Take 6, 7 laps, 10 laps, 15 laps, come back in. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Reese, what are your thoughts on Jorge Martinez's crash? Did he come back too soon? Do you think that it might have been, because he couldn't put his gloves on. So one glove he didn't even take off, and the other one someone was helping him put on and take off. And so if you're I'm no Jorge Martin, but when I first started riding and was out of shape, I had my arms just collapse on me because muscle fatigue. They were just like, we ain't doing what you want to do right now.
Yeah.
And I just landed on a tank because my arms couldn't keep me up. That's how out of shape I was back then. But should he? It's Jorge Martin, and history of proving that he doesn't make the best decisions. And like Cheetah just said, he probably should have pitted, right? Because it's up to him. Do you think he should have made a better decision? What are your thoughts? And being on the other side of it, because you've been around riders that have arm issues and stuff like that, and fighting through that.
We all know sometimes riders don't make the smartest decision. They just want to go and just ride, right? So I think we all wish him the best. It's unfortunate for his injuries. It sucks. I don't know. We all wish him a speedy recovery. But I think he could have maybe sat out for a little bit more, maybe another 1 round or maybe 2. At this time, it's going like Cheetah said, it's going to be a couple of months. Just take the time to get fully 100% healthy. We all know you want to ride, you want to get to a point, but take the time to come back 100% because, at this point in time, the championship is out of reach for him. So just take your time, come back fully healthy, because you'll see guys that want to, they have that fire. I want to win. I want to be the best. We know that, but take the time to get fully healthy. Like you'll see riders jump back in too soon. And do I think he jumped back in too soon at that round? I think he could have waited just one more round. Like, look at the gap that we have now till the next round, which is coming up. I think he could have sat out one more and just got a little bit more healthier, to where he's at now, or to where he was. Because you're not going to win the championship at this point. You missed too many rounds. As soon as you miss 1 to 2 rounds, you're kind of luck of the draw at that point.
Right. Louis, too much pressure from the powers to be on Jorge Martin to come back?
I doubt that. I doubt that Aprilia is putting pressure on him to come back. They have a multi-year contract with him. So the last thing that they want to do is rush him back. They did want to get him to do a practice round. And again, we said this last week, he should have used this past weekend or used the previous weekend as extended training. Use the free practices and use the qualifying. Use this just as time to get some familiarization with the bike, because he didn't put a lot of laps in with this bike before he had his first injury. And then he had a second injury off the bike. It was a training accident, which wasn't even on the GP bike.
Right.
So he should have used this as an opportunity to get some laps on the bike, to get familiar with the bike, maybe talk a little bit with the technical guys about certain things on the bike that he'd like to see different. But he's not at 100%, so he can't give 100% quantified feedback because he's not at 100%. So how much is him and how much is the bike not working? He's not working at 100%. He's not going to get 100% out of the bike. And I seriously doubt that Aprilia pushed him back. I think this was his own hubris to come back as quickly as possible. Realistically, he should have done some track days, some private testing on an RSV4, and should have done some other work and gotten back into better physical shape before trying to jump back on the MotoGP bike. Because like Reese said, the championship is over for him. If there was 7 different winners in the first 7 races, including the sprint, then maybe he'd have a chance. But there's not. There's one guy that's pretty much clearing the board. And at this point, unless that guy gets taken out and injured, Jorge Martin, Luca Marini has as good a chance as Jorge Martin at this point to win the championship. Okay, so why risk it? Take that extra, if he had not done the Qatar round, think about it, he would have had an additional, 4 weeks almost of additional time to heal up and rest and practice. So again, it's always up to the rider. If he passes the BS physical that MotoGP gives so that you can ride, they're going to let him ride.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. He passed that BS physical and they let him ride and he overextended himself. And it could have been worse. If you look at the replay, we could have been talking right now about something much more serious than what the injuries he has now. This had shades of
Simoncelli.
Well, not just Simoncelli. I was actually going to go up even a little bit further back and talk about what's his name, Shoya. In Misano and Moto 2, because that's exactly what happened in Misano Moto 2. He tucked the front end going through a fast right-hander in front of somebody else that ended up teeing him up, and that was it. And so this gave me shades of that Moto 2 first season crash when Tamazawa Shoya, didn't make it through the Misano round. And so, don't risk your career. You're a young guy. You're going to heal up. Give yourself time. Come back 100%. Do it the right way, man. You've got nothing to prove.
Right.
Okay. I agree on that. And we saw that from Marc Marquez when he tried to come back and then decided to after so many crashes, decided to chill for the rest of the season. Speaking of Marquez, we're at Jerez. I don't know how it is. I hear so many different pronunciations of
Spain. Just say Spain. We're at Spain.
We're in Spain. Just Spain. Is it? Just say Spain. We in Spain.
Marc Marquez has won 7 times. Vinales has won 3 times. Quartararo 3 times. Bagnaia 3 times. We can say Miller's 2 times. Zarco once. Rins once. Morbidelli once. So all these riders are still racing in MotoGP. That's won the last 10 rounds. Granted, Marquez won a gang of those. What are your thoughts, Cheetah, as far as I have people blowing up my phone saying, "Am I ready to say Marquez is the greatest?" And he's got and give him the trophy today. And I'm like, it ain't over until the points don't add up. As long as the points add up, it ain't over. When the points don't add up anymore, then it's just like, all right, it is what it is. I say this every time. Is it a foregone conclusion as a rider? I'm gonna spin it different for Reese and Lewis, because Reese, I'll bring back last year a little bit to jog your memory, and so as a team that's fighting to depose someone, even though y'all got enough championships to maybe not lose sleep for 1 year. But Cheetah, what are your thoughts? Is it Marquez's home? He's just gonna win. Alex is gonna be second, and everybody else just fight for the rest.
Yeah, man. This is a good question because it got me thinking the other day. I'm such a Marquez fan that I'm like so biased, right? But I was thinking about, is this possible? Is he mature enough? And it took me back to when like the championship came down to that last Valencia race. Even remember that when he put his elbow on the ground and drug it on turn 1 and saved it into the gravel. And who couldn't save it was Dovizioso couldn't save it. That's right. He couldn't save it. He went into the gravel, and it was between him and him. So he does take it to the finish line, right? That's what he used to be like. I think now he's matured. He's understood what happens when he has to sit out for 500 days. He understands how the bikes work now. He's understood that he can win and win by a country mile. I think he's mature enough now to just sit back and let the race come to him. Even if he has to sit in second for a while behind his brother or behind Pecco, he'll do that. And for that reason alone, man, just the fact that he's mature now, it's a scary thing, bro. That's a scary thing to see. That guy that fast can tone it back now. You're telling me the most dangerous guy coming up in MotoGP can now tone it back and dial it back and still win? that's something to be afraid of. So yeah, it's a foregone conclusion, man, to answer your question.
All right, Reese, man. Listen, this is, Michael Jordan coming back for his second three-peat, the first year, hoping to do a three-peat. And I don't know, pick any team that went against them. What are you guys talking about when there's a guy that's just doing his thing out there? And and in racing, we don't make excuses, right? So, like, what is it like in the paddock for you guys? What's the motivation speech like?
Win. But I mean, if someone like Marquez is, someone like that is coming in, the only thing you can do is pretty much either one or two things: A, get out in front of him to kind of slow him down, or B, stay right up on him and push him to make a mistake. That's the only two things you can actually do. And the way Marquez is riding, I mean, the best thing you can do is try to push him into making a mistake. Make him get in his head and like, oh God, I got to keep going to make him make a mistake. That's the only thing you can do. But besides that, pray. Pray.
Oh.
I mean, that's just being honest. Just pray.
Come on, man. You got Morbidelli. You got Pecco Bagnaia. I mean, come on, man. We got
Morbidelli keeps letting me down, man. He's hurting me. I can't keep going on that train every weekend.
Because as soon as you go on Morbidelli, you be like, yeah, he's good. Right down. You be like, that's it. That's over. And Pecca just needs to get out of his own head. I don't know where he's at. And then Alex is right behind his own brother. And then, I mean, that's kind of really it. It's a Ducati Cup.
Oh man, well it is, and I don't have a problem with that, Louis, man. I mean, I love MotoGP, man. I came from Jamaica. And I got to Boston, and I'm glad I landed in Boston because we won a lot of championships. So quitting is not in my DNA just based on how I grew up. So, I'm thinking like hopefully more. I mean, yes, I'll pray, but I'm hoping that we got a plan, Red Allback. We got a plan.
I think there'll be a couple other winners this year. Marquez is not going to clear the table. I mean, on any given weekend, anything can happen. That's why everybody laces up their shoes and puts on their helmets, because on any given weekend, anything can happen, man. A chain can fly off, a tire could go bad, any mechanical issue could happen. Somebody could have a great weekend at their home track and surprise everybody. But if it just comes down to rider to rider, bike to bike, and everything is the way it should be, I mean, every race from this point forward is really Mark's to lose. And Mark is the only one that can actually lose his races. Like if he's out front, he can stay out front and, run the table on that weekend. If somebody jumps in front of him, he could do exactly what he did last weekend. He'll sit behind you in second or third place. He'll let you burn your tires. He'll let you do your things, and he'll know when he needs to pull the trigger. I mean, the only person that can truly stop Mark right now is Mark. Like, Mark is Mark's worst enemy and his best friend. If he can keep his emotions in check and everything, even if he can't win, he can still come in second or third. And that's the one problem that Mark has always had, is accepting second or third when he thinks he's got an opportunity to win. Mm-hmm. If you're like within a second and a half of him with 4 laps left, in his mind, I can still win this race. And when everybody else's tires are dropping, including his, he'll start to push that extra little bit, thinking he's going to get the best out of this tire to get that 1.5 seconds back, to get that first place trophy. And that's when he usually makes mistakes, throws it down the roads or things like that. Like, he's not infallible. No, but, I mean, I will say that Kyle Crutchlow seems like he was pretty accurate when he said about what he said about Mark a few years ago. If Mark gets on a Ducati bike, the rest of the field might as well not really turn up.
Cheetah,
he's 100% right.
As a current racer, when you have somebody And I can only speak on my experience where I've had people I mean, there's a lot of people faster than me, but there's people that have been faster than me at the beginning of the season. And it's a discouraging ride, riding home that first weekend when you get beat by 7 seconds, you know, from sitting from that standpoint. You know, and I believe that these guys can beat him, right? You know, you're a racer. I don't know if you've had situations where you were just always the top guy. You were the Marc Marquez, and not necessarily more like Rexy Fortyfive have to work at trying to beat you kind of thing. What is that mindset like when you start a season and you're either winning races or you're trying to chase somebody down who seems to be unbeatable at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, so in club racing, just keep in mind, completely different than pro racing, right? Completely different in the sense of it's all a money-based thing. Who can afford to show up sometimes? So a lot of times you won't see the best riders show up. And, you know, sometimes Moto America riders come in and they'll race in club. So those weekends, you're not the best, but you improve. I'd rather come in fourth and be chasing the fastest guys and break my personal best and get faster than become first and the 7-second lead in club racing. That is right. Because it's not in Moto America. Don't get me twisted. If I was racing Moto A, I'd want to beat everyone by 10 seconds. So it's definitely a learning curve and all that. But there are favorites that come into the season. If they show up to Road Atlanta, there's this guy named Tyson. If he shows up, he's always a second faster than all of us. We're hitting 33s there. He's hitting 32s. Just a second faster everywhere. And it's just impossible to catch him. And he'll start from the back and pass us all in an 8-lap race because of that second gap. So, you know, when some people are just favorites, it's tough to beat them. And a lot of times they have to beat themselves. Matter of fact, going into 10A at Road Atlanta, real hard braking zone. Reese, you know that. Dude just blows past me and goes right into the gravel pit. I'm talking about Tyson in one of the races because he started from the back full of anxiety to get through the pack. So something like him beating himself, meaning he crashes himself out, or simply starting from the back, having to get the pressure of pushing through the pack can make someone like that just fold. And so there's always a lot of things that can happen in racing like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And outside of making the mistakes, I mean, do you as you know, your own personal experience, do you sit here and look yourself in the mirror and say, I can do better? Or you're just, I hear stories of, you know, I say Michael Jordan a lot, but I hear stories of dudes like, you know, I'm not partying tonight. I'm going to sleep because I know I got work tomorrow. I mean, is there even that, like, you know?
Yeah, that's. I'm glad you asked that because there's a guy, you know, if you know John Jones, mixed martial arts, baddest man alive, best record history, hands down, not even debatable. He said that he used to not show up drunk, but would drink during the camps and never stop drinking so that if he lost, he always had a crutch to fall back on. So these guys, you know, like you really have to bring everything to the table. And, you know, when you're battling at the top like that, you ultimately cannot have a crutch like that, you know, so you have to like put it all on the line. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with that because I think the season is just beginning. I don't know if Marquez is gonna run away with it, but I think, you know, we got some people here that think he is. But let's talk about the Morbidelli. Let's talk about Pecco because he's having the best season in MotoGP ever. You know what I'm saying? That's undeniable. You know, I will throw even Vinales, regardless of the penalty. He may show up at Jerez or Jerez as well. I'm not just going to say Spain because there's multiple rounds in Spain.
There's only one Spain round that's actually called Spain.
Why?
And that's this one.
Yeah,
because Catalunya is Catalunya. And Aragon is Aragon.
Yeah, fair
this
enough.
Is the only one that's called Spain. I think it's because nobody knows how to pronounce the name.
Correct. This is south of Spain. You go up a little more along the coast, you get to Valencia. You go up equally that same distance, you get to Catalunya and Barcelona. So it's all like along the coastline. Yep. This one's close to Portugal too. Yeah.
Jerez.
So I threw out a bunch of names, guys. Let's start with Reese. I mean, you know, I think Morbidelli's having the best seasons he's had since his first couple of years in with Yamaha before the knee injury and stuff like that. So, when you see guys like that are finishing on the podium, that are battling for the top 5 and stuff like that, it's not a home GP, so they don't have the turbo boost that you get from that. But is there anyone that you think that could outshine Mark Marquez this weekend?
I'll say this real quick about Morbidelli. We'll let Louis take over Morbidelli. That's his guy. Morbidelli is showing signs of greatness this year. I mean, signs of like he's coming out, but he's just very inconsistent. Then I'll leave it at that, and we'll let Louis take over that. But Vinales, I don't think so. I still see Vinales. I still see him top 10, not the top 5. In that line, he's still going to be there. I mean, the only one just in this line, just like right here, we're going into Jerez. I mean, I still see the top guys of, Marquez, Pecca, if Pecca doesn't crash itself out, and the other Marquez coming in there. Morbidelli, yeah, he could be a threat. He could be up in there. But I foresee the same top guys. I don't see Vinales going in the top 5. I see him top 10 and somewhere back in there.
All right. The floor is yours, Louis.
I think it's going to be mostly Ducatis up front. I mean, the VR46 team is showing that they're very strong. Both riders have a lot of potential. They both suffer from inconsistency. So, but in one weekend, Morbidelli does good, and the following weekend, Digi does good. Then the following weekend, Morbidelli does good, and the following weekend, Digi does good. So I think this weekend will be Digi's weekend because Morbidelli's weekend was last weekend. If the pattern continues, if that's the way the pattern works, I still think both of them are going to end up in the top 6. Where in the top 6, I can't say, but I really do believe that both the VR46 guys will be there. Obviously, the 2 factory Ducati rides will be there. It'll be interesting to see which of the 2 Spaniards in the Pramac team will be there, because I actually think that Fermin Aldeguer has a really good shot of doing really, really good in Spain.
Oh, he's on.
I was going to say he's a.
I'm sorry, Grassini. Yeah, but I was going to
say he's a dark horse.
Yeah, he's definitely a dark horse in this particular race because he's got a lot of laps around this track. He's got a lot of laps around all the tracks in Spain. And I think finally now he's back in tracks that he's familiar with. And he's been showing that he's got really good pace, middle of the race, end of the race. Like if he can get a little bit better qualifying, a little bit better start, and have to work through 7, 8, 9, 10 guys to get into the top 6. If he can get into that lead pack within the first 4 or 5 laps, I think his racecraft is getting better. He's finally showing, hey, this is why Ducati brought me in the way they brought me in. They saw that I have this high level of talent. So I think for this coming weekend in Spain, I think he's the one dark horse that we should keep an eye on. He's either going to put it in the kitty litter or get it really close to putting it on the box. It's in the box or on the box. It's one of the 2.
All right. Okay. Let me throw Aprilia out there, guys, because Bezzecchi looked halfway decent in Qatar, and Ayagura. I think his potentials are showing. Those are only 2 Aprilias I can really speak on. Yeah. What are your thoughts on?
Those are the only ones worth speaking on.
No, that's not true. But you guys got to do a little bit more than. I mean, I feel bad for Raul Fernandez. I'm not gonna lie, because it seems that he's. I think I use a lot of NBA references, but I think Ben Simmons is a close analogy to Raul Fernandez as far as what he's going through with the psychological stuff.
So you're saying he needs to hang it up?
No, I don't think he needs to hang it up. But unfortunately, I don't think Ben Simmons, to me, have gotten a lot of chances. I don't know how Dwight Howard can get in the NBA and Cousins can't get in the NBA, but Ben Simmons is still in the NBA And I get it, it's a mental thing. There's some disconnect, and I think that's what they're trying to work through with Raul Fernandez. But I really feel bad for this guy that he may not get a chance. And I think at this point, I think Aprilia is done with him. I can't imagine that we'll see him on the grid next year for Aprilia.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I can't comment on what they're going to do with them. But just, going as far as Aprilia, man, I've been kind of wanting them to show up a little bit stronger. I was just hoping for, Martin can come back really and do something. But as far as the leading Aprilia right now, I mean, it's got to be Bezzecchi and Ayagura. I mean, those two are holding it down. Top 15 right now, and it's tough to see. But I don't know, man. I mean, between them, it's a toss-up because I would almost have to go back and look at the results from last year and see how they did at the trail. Of course, Ayagura's first time out on the GP bike there probably, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. But I don't think it'll be some top 8 finishes, most likely.
Right. Reese, on the Aprilia, but also just on Raul Fernandez. I don't know how you guys do it over at Attack Yamaha. I don't know how many I have a 3-strike rule personally, so you get after the 3rd strike you're done on my end. What's it like?
I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head right there. I mean, pretty much 3 strikes, you're out. I mean, if it's a real bit of an inconsistency and, you sitting there wadding up bikes, I mean, yeah, we're going to be like, what are we doing here? And give you an instance, Mid-Ohio last year with Peterson wadding up 2 in one day and totaling some swing arms that cost about, $30,000 a piece, so.
Yeah, Rich, this is an old Walking Dead reference, but Rich will walk you behind the Yamaha trailer and tell you to smell the flowers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Look at the flowers. Look at the flowers. Just look at the flowers. Bam!
Like, it's pretty bad, man. You get 3 chances, and listen, if you're not producing and you're not getting on the box, it's just like, okay, we're going to give you a box to put your stuff in and send you packing.
Wow. Yeah. So, okay. So I think you're saying Raul Fernandez is done.
Going to look at the flowers at the end of the year. Yeah,
exactly. you know that old saying, it's time to put old yellow out, take him out back and put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
That's what's about to happen. Hey, come on out here for a minute. I got to go talk to you.
Oh man. But let's talk about the other 2 Aprilias, as far as Ayagura, and Bezzecchi. Alicia Sparger did win on Aprilia at the track in Spain. So the Aprilia can get on the box. So what are your thoughts there, Reese?
I just don't think they're Alice. I don't think none of these guys are Alicia Spargo. Okay. Or you want to say El Capitan, but he rode the bike. I think the way the bike is set up was more suitable for his style of riding.
Correct.
Where he can put it on the box. We don't know what Martin can do because we just haven't been able to see him do anything yet. As far as like Bezzecchi and Ayagura, I mean, Ayagura was showing progress in the first race. He was up there and then he just kind of like disappeared. I mean, but he's still one that you can talk about, that he can still get up there. He's still a rookie, so he's still got some ways to go. Bezzecchi, I don't know what happened to Bezzecchi, and I'm like, he's like the only sole rider out there, and Fernandez, he's just pretty much out in the wind somewhere. So, I mean, the only hope I think for Aprilia right now is Ayagura. I think he's the one. He is the one. I think he's that one that will put them up to that area. I mean, Bezzecchi has shown some flashes to try to get there, but I don't know like I said, I don't know if it's like the same thing with Fernandez and all that. Is it a mental thing or something's going on there? Because he got off a VR46 and disappeared.
Yeah, well, he was hurt. I mean, he was hurt last year, for sure, which stifled, and also the bike, for whatever reason they couldn't figure out the 23 bike last year for him and Alex Marquez as well. There's a bunch of guys. Same thing with Digitoni. A lot of those guys couldn't figure out that 23 bike, even though it won a championship.
Yeah, and
Louis,
I get that.
Yeah. But Louis, what are your thoughts on Aprilia? I mean, I don't know. I assume if you guys are walking somebody behind the trailer at Dainese, it's at least somewhere. So I mean, are we getting ice cream first, or what do they call over there? It's not ice cream.
Gelato? Nah.
Gelato. There you go.
We tell them we're gonna go get gelato, but we never make it to the actual gelato place. Luckily, gear costs a lot less than bikes and swing arms, so we stick with people a little bit longer, typically.
Okay,
our guy, I still want to believe that Marco Bezzecchi at some point is going to put the pieces together and become a little bit more consistent. I mean, again, he's having the same problem. It's getting from Q1 to Q2, not going straight to Q2, not having the best launches. I mean, he has the same situation going on as Fernandez, where, not Fernandez, as Aldeguer, where like in the middle of the race, all of a sudden he finds speed.
Right.
And he needs to find that speed earlier. And whatever it is in the setup of the bike, they need to figure out the balance between finding speed earlier in the race and maintaining speed throughout the race versus when the fuel drops off or the tires get to a certain point, all of a sudden these guys find speed. And this is, this is a combination. It could be setup, it could be mental, it could be a couple of different things. But you look at every race and you see the guys that start moving forward as the race goes on, and it's the same suspects. It's the usual suspects every race. Like if they could figure out how to start the race and maintain that pace, then you're going to start seeing these guys finishing in the top 8 on a more regular basis versus battling from 16th to finish 8th, right, or from 13th to finish 7th or 5th, or, like in the case of Aldeguer, like he was almost going to be on the podium until he ended up throwing it down the road because maybe he got overconfident with how good he was doing. And some of that could come from he's young, he's a rookie, like he's still got too much piss and vinegar, and he'll learn. But same thing with Bezzecchi. Bezzecchi, I think is really a mental thing and a bike setup thing. There's no reason why a guy in the middle of a race starts going faster. Right. Like nothing changes in you mentally in the middle of the race. You started the race with a certain mentality. The only thing that can evolve is the bike's not working as good, so I need to know, or the bike is working better, so now I can go. Well, if the bike is working better in the middle of the race, figure out how to make that shit work at the beginning of the race.
Listen, man.
Give that guy the confidence to do it from beginning to end.
I will say this, and I'm no Bezzecchi and those guys, but generally my last 2 laps are generally my fastest lap of the race. I don't know why. Because you would think it'd be the slowest, but
because you're like, oh my God, it's over. It's almost over.
Also, we're not taking the tire to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not taking.
You're just like I'm trying.
Yeah, we're just breaking it in.
Yeah, so that's my feeling on the Aprilia thing is there's definitely a setup issue on the Aprilia side that they need to figure out to make Bezzecchi more comfortable from beginning to end. Get a better launch, get a better start, be in the front pack early in the race, not burn as much tires, trying to get through everybody, and then stay with that lead pack, at least the top 7 guys. If you can finish in the top 7 without having to battle through 8 other guys, when the race starts to drop off, he might actually get that extra 1 or 2 spots.
Right. And do you think it's, in Bezzecchi's case, he's the most senior guy just because, he's hurt. So he really has, at this point, Aldeguer is the only person he can bounce stuff off of because Fernandez is just not, I don't know how, I don't even know if the engineers are listening to him. Right. So, you know what I mean? So it makes it very difficult because, they all green on the Aprilia for this year, except for Fernandez.
Yeah. No, and, Agura did have the cheat code on the ECU a little bit for a couple of races, probably. But Bezzecchi is the main guy. So Aprilia should be giving him anything and everything he asked for. So this is the time for him to figure out what he needs to ask for, because again, engineers can only give you what you tell them. So the feedback you give your engineers and your data guy goes really, really far. I mean, the data guys can do a lot of stuff without you, but they still need your input. So is this maybe a little bit of a sign that Bezecchi's not good at telling tech guys what they need to do to make the bike better for him? Because some guys are like that. Some guys, they expect you to have the bike ready for them because they can't tell you how to set up a bike. They can tell you, oh, this corner works like this corner like that, but they can't break down corner by corner, piece by piece. This is what's happening here. This is what's happening here. Like they sit down with their tech guys, and if the tech guys don't ask them the right questions, they don't know how to relay to the tech guys or the chassis guy what exactly they're feeling.
Right. So, I'll throw this out to all you guys. Is this a chance for Bezecchi to try to be the number one guy? Right? Because it was supposed to be Martin, and I assume the team was thinking that up to a point, but after Qatar, is Rossi sitting here saying, go for it. This is your chance to be the number one rider.
Yeah, I don't know if he's thinking about it like that because you're still number one in 12th. You're still fighting a young cat who has nothing to lose, which is Ayogura. If he finishes in front of you, everyone hails him. But if you finish behind you, it's kind of expected because you're the senior guy. So he has a lot of pressure, I would think, especially a little less maybe with Martin not being fully healthy. Martin may have been finishing more ahead of him. But yeah, I don't think that question's running through his mind at all, man. I think he's more worried about how can we get this bike going into top 8 consistently. That's the issue right now.
That doesn't happen in the paddock race, then
I mean, it does and it doesn't. I tell the guys same thing like I told our riders last year when Jake went down. I'm like, man, it's all a sport. No matter what you look at it, it's still a sport, from basketball, baseball, whatever. And I have the same mentality. I'm like, hey, if he goes down, next man up, and you the next man, step up. And if you want to keep that ride or make the big money, hey, it's your time to shine. Figure this out. Mm-hmm. And I mean, same thing like Louis said. I mean, it goes back to where Cam Bobier, when we were, a Yamaha, and he was coming into the Superbike, he wasn't that great of a relayer. He wasn't that great of a person trying to relay data, from what he's feeling to the data guys, and he wasn't that kind of person. Now he is that person. Now you listen to him, he's like, okay, do this. And where he's at, he's always up front. But once you can relay what you're feeling from the bike to your engineers and your data guy, they can give you what you need or give it to that point and say, here, this is what you're asking for. He said, yep, okay, go. And you can take off and do what you do. I mean, they'll get it to a certain point. They're not going to get it perfect. We won't get it perfect, but we'll get it there about 96% of the way on what you're asking for. And it's kind of up to you to ride through it or ride around what you need.
Okay. Louis?
I mean, I already said what I said.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
You got an opportunity. You can either seize it or you can waste it. And he doesn't have anybody else next to him in the box with a number 1 plate on their bike.
Right.
So this is opportunity to show that I can be the guy. But if he doesn't live up to being the guy, then he's going to be the guy next to the guy.
Right.
Because when Martin comes back, even though he hasn't raced, since Bezecchi wasn't able to capitalize on this opportunity, then now Martin is going to be that guy again because he's the returning champion. He's got the gold card in his pocket. He's got the trophy in his house. And Bezecchi has nothing to show for what he's done in this opportunity time. So it's not a matter, I don't think it's a matter of like Rossi telling him. It's just a matter of like, look, this is it as a rider. Like, this is my opportunity to try to do something special with what I have, with the moment that I have. And if he doesn't take advantage of it, again, he's just going to be the guy in the box next to the guy. And when his multi-year contract is up, maybe he'll get re-signed. Maybe he won't. Maybe they'll look at him and be like, hey, you were with us for 2 years and you're only a little bit better than this Alagura kid. And we could get him for a third of the price that we pay you. So guess who's getting your seat? Aligura. Come right on up. Bezeki, go find another seat.
Yeah.
Or they may drop him down to Aligura's seat. You never know.
Nah. If you're at a factory bike, they usually don't drop you to the satellite team, the same manufacturer. You go to another manufacturer.
Yeah.
You can ask Mr. Tire Pressure that question.
Oh, come on, man. Leave Vinales alone. Listen, he's going to win on 4.
Only thing he hasn't won on is a Triumph because they're not in MotoGP. At this point, he's running out of bikes.
Yeah, well,
right.
He is. That he definitely is. Is there any truth to I heard a Honda trying to get Pedro Acosta for some obscene amount of money? Is it just a conversation for social media and stuff like that? As a young rider, I mean, Zarco is 5th in the championship, I believe, so or something like that. I'd have to double check, 5th or 6th or something like that. 6th.
Yeah.
One, is there any truth to it? 2, if there is that something that a young rider might consider?
Yeah, because there's been rumors about it, right? They're going to offer something. They may offer something, and it just became more solid, like today or yesterday, about they offered a $10 million 3-year contract per year, so it's 30 million total, so euros. So that's a great situation for him, given the landscape of where MotoGP is right now. I feel like, I think he even offered Top Rack something for next year and the year after with Honda. So we can get in that later. But I think for Acosta, I feel like that's a real good opportunity. Just he's young enough to take that opportunity and still not lose too much time. He can go in there and develop and become the new sort of development rider for them. Like they need a new Marquez. Honda needs a new face. If you look at Honda right now, they're in the big dip as far as the manufacturers go. They're on their downward slope, but it looks like they're coming back. You can see it with Zarco and everyone. So I think he needs to take this opportunity that maybe he's going to watch the rest of the season. I don't know when he has to make that decision by. I don't think Honda's just going to be dangling over him the whole year, but I think he needs to make that decision based on what he's seeing. And I think it's a phenomenal opportunity for a kid like him. He has nothing to lose. He's going to make a lot of money. And Honda has a lot of money now that they saved from paying Mark that money, so I don't know.
Right. So we already spent this money.
Yeah.
Reese, I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily need you to give the details of how you guys find riders and stuff, but
I don't think you want to know that one.
I mean, do you is there a time where you just sit here and go, okay, this guy is good enough that I'm going to write a blank check?
Let's see how they want to put this. Yes and no. I mean, there comes a time where you just like when we were looking for a rider for this year, you laid out all the cards, and all the riders that were free agents, you laid it all out, and then you're like, okay, this guy A, B, C, D, and you're looking at, okay, so what guy can we get that can give you feedback, or what guy can we get a championship now? What guy can we win with now? Like, are we looking to win right now? Or are we looking to go? So it all depends on what the situation is at that time. Coming into this year, we're looking like, okay, where can we go for a win? We need 2 strong, healthy riders. And, there was a couple other people. We didn't want to go with a young guy. We did, but we didn't, because now you got to okay, he's not going to win this year. He's going to win up and coming. Right. But you want to get it this year to get back on that podium and get the bonuses, to get everything, to keep the manufacturer saying, okay, so we won. Okay, so we'll do it again. We'll do it again. You want to keep that going. So you're like, I want to win this year, not next year. Okay. So that's where we were at. We were looking to win, not just podium.
Okay. Louis, a rider like Pedro Acosta on a Honda, he's not going to win next year. or maybe the year after. He might get close. How do you convince a guy like that to say, "Hey, man, we know you can win right now if you go to Ducati. You're not going to say Ducati, but you're going to the other brand." But what
That's it. Hand him $1.
Like how you sweet talking them? What's showing up to his house or wherever?
There's a couple of answers in here. First, you might not win on a Honda, but you ain't winning on a KTM, so that doesn't change.
Right.
But here's the difference. Honda's been around in this sport for a long ass time. KTM might be out of business next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So that's number one. We can give you a guarantee that you're going to be around at least for 3 years because Honda's not going anywhere.
Right.
I said, the next thing is you hear that sound? That's the Brinks truck coming up your driveway. We got more money to give you than KTM's going to give you. And then number 3, we finally give you the freedom to get away from KTM after all the years that they've been pimping you out.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. KTM has treated you like shit for a long time. We're giving you the opportunity to get free of them, start a new career, start a new legacy with a legacy company that's been around for a while. We've actually won a couple of championships. Let me see how many KTM's won. Oh, 0. I just looked at the number. It was really fast to find that number.
Was that just off the dome, or was that something that you guys say and you're just changing the names?
We're just changing the names. So again, Honda has more to offer than KTM has to offer. Honda is turning things around, and Honda is going to invest more money and time and effort. You're going to be on a factory team with Honda. Yeah, we're not Ducati. We don't have the best bike in the grid, but don't think twice that we're not investing to get there. Look at what Zarco's doing, and this is only going to get better when we get a couple of more consistent riders. We got an opportunity at the end of this year because Marini's contract is up at the end of this year. In 2026, Johan Mir's contract is up. So if you do good in 2026, guess who's going to be the number 1 rider in 2027?
Right.
So there's a lot of things that Honda can throw in front of him that is just chumming the waters, man. If you want to stay there, you can stay there with KTM. You know, we saw how they treated you in Moto3, Moto2. When you got to MotoGP, they put you on this, they put you on that. They forced you to stay in Moto2. They made you lose opportunities with other manufacturers because they had you under contract. Now you have the opportunity to be free. And in 3 years, guess what? If you don't want to be with us, you can move on. You can take your $30 million and you can move on somewhere else. Or you can stay with KTM.
So Pedro Acosta is done, is what you're saying.
Sign on the dotted line, bro.
Yeah, for real.
He's done. That's unfortunate. It's fortunate for him, but we see from Bendo where he's locked in, and I think he did a multi-year deal as well to stay around. So I don't think he's going to be going anywhere.
No, Bender's there till the end of 26.
Yeah,
I think his stock's going to go up if he stays in and Acosta goes.
Oh yeah, I think that's what I think. You know, it's weird. I think with KTM because, like, you know, as I learn more, it seems like they take advantage of young riders. Right. By locking them up into the big contract because it's with KTM, and then the name itself is what these kids are buying into, and then when you look at it, they're losing opportunities with other teams that were probably offering more money and more success.
Yeah,
with other teams, with other sponsors. You know, when you're with KTM, you're locked in with KTM. You're locked in with Red Bull, which is not a bad thing, but you're locked in with a lot of other things that come with the bike that don't necessarily go to you. Mm-hmm. Whereas when you go with another manufacturer, there's certain sponsors that you can bring with you to make more money as long as they don't conflict with the sponsors that the bike has. Mm. And with KTM, it's kind of like, you know, you have to take all the sponsors we have. And if we don't like your sponsors, you can't put your sponsors on the suit or on the helmet or this and that because we technically own you.
Yeah, that's the business side of it, which none of us like, but apparently
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say the numbers guy. Love it. Let's do our pick for the weekend. I think we may have lost Reese, but we got a lot of information from him, which is always it's just dope because like to hear the other side of it it's unreal because it's for real. Yeah. But what do you guys pick for the weekend? I'll go out there. I'll go out and say Morbidelli, Bagnaia, and Bezzecchi. You're 46.
Ooh.
You want to go
hard in the paint, man?
Morbidelli first? That's the order?
I'm going Morbidelli first. He's due.
Morbidelli, Bagnaia, and who?
And Bezzecchi. And I was thinking this when Louis was talking, like VR46 is like the Jackson family, and Bezzecchi is like
Tito?
Michael Jackson. No, he's the youngest. And that would leave Vietti as Janet, but that's a different story. But I think Bezzecchi's going to come into his own and smash all kind of records once he gets comfortable. He probably should have stayed with VR46, but, you know, factory seat you can't turn down, as they say.
Yeah.
I'll do Mark. I'm going to regret doing this one. Morbidelli.
Oh, man. He's not going to win just because of that, bro.
No. I got Mark winning, but I got Morbidelli finishing in the top three. And in one of the two races, he'll finish in the top three. Like, I can't, you know. And then, oddly enough, I have the Gian Antonio finishing in the top three in the opposite race. Like, I don't have Bezzecchi and Gian Antonio both finishing on the podium at the same race.
Okay.
One of them will finish in the podium on the sprint race and the other one on the actual race, but they won't finish both on the podium. I don't know why.
Okay. All right.
These guys can't get it together.
Okay.
And then the last one that I'm going to have up there is I'm going to have Alex Marquez.
Okay.
I think Bagnaia is going to be outside he's going to be outside the top three in the sprint, and he'll be outside the top three in the race.
Wow.
I think he's going to have some stiffer competition than what he's expecting.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I can see that. I think I got Mark in first. I can't believe you didn't put Mark on podium, Rex. What's going on?
Listen, man. Listen.
He just likes going against the grain, man.
Yeah, man.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so much. When Reese earlier said, bro, I'm glad Reese is back. When he said Pecco's in his mind, I was just waiting for you to be like, man, this is Pecco's best season.
It is. I'm still going to say that. I can't be mad at his best season. I mean, you know, when it starts to be worse, then I'll say something. But like, it's like, how y'all mad at me? It's my best season.
Yeah, bro. So I got Mark first, Morbidelli second, and Pecco third.
All right, cool.
Morbidelli second, Pecco third. All right.
Nice. All right, Reese. We're just wrapping up with what we think calling the weekend. What are your thoughts? How the races are going to shake out this weekend?
I gotta agree there. I got Marquez first, Mark Marquez first, of course. Then I got Pecca coming in second.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a fight with Morbidelli. I think Morbidelli's gonna be there with Alex Marquez.
Yeah.
So I gotta give it there. You know, I can't say anybody else. I don't think Vinales is going to be there. Yeah, I got to go there. I got to go Mark first, Pecca second, and it's a fight between Morbidelli and Alex Marquez.
Yeah, I hate myself for not putting Alex somewhere in there because I'm going to throw Alex in there as the dark horse.
Yeah.
To possibly actually win.
Okay.
To win, huh? Okay.
To win.
I don't see
that.
That's tough. That's tough, man.
He's either winning or he's not finishing on the podium.
Yeah, he's either winning or not finishing on the podium. I don't think he's going to keep the number 2 streak, and I don't think third place is in it for him. He's either going to win it or he'll be in fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, man. I give you that.
I want him to win at this one race, man. Like, it's going to suck if he goes a whole season coming in second, third, fourth, fifth. Second, fourth.
It does seem like he needs to get up out front, top 5 early, man. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he has a hard time from just the last few races. Just seeing that, he's.
I could see him up front, but I'm like, can he manage his tires?
He can manage his tire. The problem is if he is not up front early in the race, if he gets too racy, I don't know, too racy is the best way to describe. Like, he loses a little bit of focus and starts, causing a little bit of havoc. He starts looking like Marc Marquez from 2011, using people as berms. And bouncing off people in the corners and things like that. And
Alex Marquez got to change his name. Like, was it Emilio Estevez did with
with Charlie Sheen?
You got to change his name, man. Just come back and race,
That's funny.
So Alejandro something.
I mean, I think I just have to give it to Mark, though. I got to give it to my man Mark. Can't.
Yeah.
Like Louis said a while ago, his racing craft and knowledge is superb over anybody.
I agree with that. No, I have no doubt there. He is the equivalent of the Rossies and
Reese. Guess where Rex put Marquez? What place?
Fourth.
We don't even know because he didn't say.
Yeah, he didn't announce him, man. He didn't even have.
He didn't put him on his top 3.
He's expecting Marquez to crash both races.
Morbidelli, Bezzecchi, and Pecco. I don't know what the order.
Woo, you drinking that Morbidelli Kool-Aid?
I drank it too, man.
It's not Kool-Aid, man.
Right. I still got your Losel picks from last time, man. You have Bezzecchi, Morbidelli, and Digi.
Oh man,
that's
dang, man.
What was my Losel? Was it Marquez?
Losel was Mark, Alex, and Morbidelli. I think you got it right. No, you didn't get it right.
The sprint race. I got the sprint race pretty close, but then the actual race, Alex Marquez decided to go rogue.
Right.
And Morbidelli was out front until he burned through his tires because he thought he could out-tire the tires.
Yeah. Pressure change, all that mess up happened.
Yeah. But hey, he still got third. So technically I did get 2 of the 3 right. I just didn't expect Pecco to be in the middle. I expected Alex Marquez to be in the middle.
I'm telling you, best season he's having. Pecco is sitting here like, if Mayor can do it, I can do it.
The best season he's having. Too bad there's another guy in red having a better season.
Right. I just think the light bulb went off in Pekka's head, and I think he'll be up there.
Yeah, I think so too. If he didn't crash out of Q2, it would have been a closer race. And the thing about it is, I know Mark. I was it this season, the last season, he went from 13 to 3rd or whatever, and Pecco went from 11 to 3rd and 2nd. Nobody's saying the same praises for Pecco. We're sitting here saying he didn't do enough. But when Mark did it, we're drinking that his
Mark wasn't on a factory bike.
You already know you can't say this with Louis. Louis is going to chime in with something.
Try to correct him, bro.
Okay, that's what we're talking about.
Mark's
now.
On used bikes, used parts. The welds aren't even that clean.
They're like chunky as egg.
Yeah, they look like JB Weld instead of a roll of nickels.
I'm telling you, man, with Mark, man, you just gotta say he's gonna win. It's his race to lose.
Gravity is over ambition.
It is his to lose. But you can, as we know, we can never underestimate the underdogs. Because I don't think any of those other riders are sitting here going to lay down for the whole season. It may take them a few rounds to get up there, but I suspect some of these I suspect at least 2 or 3 riders are going to they're going to show up.
Yeah,
but it's just like how you use your analogy in basketball. It's like if we want to use that with Jordan, don't piss the man the hell off because you're going to piss Marquez off and he's coming through. He's coming. If you piss him off and you get in front of him, he's like, okay, I'll let you sit there for a minute, make you feel great, and then I'm coming right by you near the end.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. And my only comeback is that I think the VR46 Academy riders have a upper hand because of being tutelage by Rossi, and I think for them, they're the closest ones that can beat Marquez. That's what I think they're the closest one to be able to do that. So in the equivalent would be Michael Jordan's students, the Kobes of the world and the Carmelos and these guys that he took under his wing and stuff like that. And we saw what some of these guys have been able to do. So those are the ones I think that can beat Marquez. But we'll see. I mean, that's the cool thing about MotoGP right now. We don't know what's going to happen. Even though we think Marquez is going to run away with it, he hasn't yet.
I will say this track, I think Marquez has an extra incentive.
Man, you just muted yourself.
I know, right?
Truth coming out.
You guys,
you muted yourself.
I didn't. I think Mark has a little bit more to prove at this track, because remember, this is the track where Mark.
You keep muting yourself.
Turn off the auto mute BS filter.
Yeah, somehow you're muting yourself. You don't want to get it out.
No, I think that this is the track where Marquez broke his arm, where the whole cascade of issues.
Yeah. Good point.
Mark Marquez was putting on a clinic on how to ride.
Oh my God, bro! Thank you for saying that, bro.
This is Marquez's opportunity to go relive that day, except this time put her on a real clinic and show people exactly how much better he is. Because remember, on that day, he ran out the track and within 4 laps, lapped the field again, started gapping them again, and then crashed. Like, he was on his way to win that by like 87 seconds if he wanted to. He should have had a shirt on that said, "Follow me."
No, he wasn't.
Instructor.
I put that performance, Jerez 2019, 2020 or something. I think
2020.
I put that up there with probably the top 5 best motorsport performances ever. Like, that has to be one of the best.
He didn't finish.
What he did is exactly what Lewis said. And then he goes out, but that day started not only the most insane uptick of his performance, but the most insane downfall, which then resulted in the beginning of his comeback to this insane story. So thank you for putting a full circle loop around that whole thing.
So Jerez is an exclamation point.
He didn't just come back from a couple Honda crashes. He came back from that thing where he was so on top to coming through this 500-day recovery, man, and coming back from all that to the greatest comeback ever.
So I appreciate you guys saying that. But as we all know, when we have a bad crash and we go back to the crash scene, we don't necessarily, because you have to face it, right?
Normal people.
What do aliens?
We are normal.
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to say, because we are all humans, including Marc Marquez.
Yeah.
And he is a human. And so
he's an alien.
He may not dwell on it as much as we do, but
that was on a Honda. This time around, he's going to be moonwalking that turn, and it's going to be easy. It's nothing. That's one of his favorite tracks too. It's going to be
after he wins. I wouldn't be surprised if he stops in that corner and does a celebration.
And do a handstand.
The same corner that almost ended his career.
Yeah,
because I think he's got a lot of fire to win at home in Spain. And conquer that track, man. He has not conquered that track since the day he crashed.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there may be something to Marc Marquez looking at the guys that have won a championship after him and talking to them, and may feel they may not all deserve it, but
he's gonna conquer that track.
No.
You staying out of that one, guys? I love it.
He's gonna conquer that track. He's gonna destroy it. I think
all that all started. Also, the reason his whole thing it lasted so long is because one injury, the surgery didn't go well the first time around.
Right.
Until he came to that American Surgery Center, I don't think it fixed him. So that was he's got a lot to prove coming from that much time off. But at the same time, him saying in the interview that he doesn't have anything left to prove makes it that much more interesting to watch. Is he going to be super relaxed coming into this track, just giving it his, having fun, really? That's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, they didn't.
That makes him more dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
I forgot how many degrees, but they didn't reattach his humerus from the shoulder to the brake. And from the
33
break to the
degrees.
elbow, it was off by a certain amount of degrees. So he actually couldn't rotate his arm.
Wow.
And that's why he had to go back in, actually get his arm cut a second time, his bone cut again, and have it rotated and pinned again in the right location. Plus he had the muscle injury because they had to go through the muscle twice. Like this guy's been through a lot, man. And for him to be doing what he's doing, I mean, these guys aren't real. And I say that about all these guys, man. Even Martin, when he gets back on a bike after this injury, again, this is why these guys just are unreal, man. They do something that we do it for fun. They don't do it for fun, man. They do it for something.
They're unreal, but come 40 years old and 50, you're going to feel all them
broken
surgeries.
down, man.
You're not going to want to walk.
That's why the ones that really could get away with a lot of money early usually retire early because they want to enjoy some of that money before like the injuries and everything start plaguing them, you know?
All this is going to hurt, boy. You're going to be like, I can't get out of bed.
Like like you look at Jorge Lorenzo now, man, he's enjoying retirement, man. My man's having a lot of good meals. Looks pretty plump.
Oh yeah. He's putting it on. He gonna mess around and blow up.
They got fat, boy.
But he got the money to be fat.
Great. I want to thank you guys for coming on tonight, man. I really appreciate it. And we'll talk next week.
All right. Be good. Take care, everybody.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.